Hello guys, welcome back to the question number 6 of the database management video series. So without talking that much, I'll just quickly move on to the question. So today we have question number 6. First, as usual, I'll just read on the question, then jump on to the answer. Okay, so in the question we have, first I'll read the question. So the board of directors of HeidiSQL Academy, there's an academy called HeidiSQL Academy, and they have decided to computerize the information of all the teachers in the educational institute. So the software was developed by Taraka Software Solution, and it says us to imagine that you are working as a senior software engineer in this company, and you and your team are responsible for creating the database of the system of this software and creating the database according to the instructions given. So we have certain instructions that we should follow in order to do the question. So first of all, step by step I'm going to explain how I am going to develop this database, and then how I am going to create this table, and then I'm going to go through how I am going to enter the data onto these tables, onto the table that I have created. And they have they have about 3 questions which I should use queries, I should use SQL queries to answer these questions. Okay, so I'll use the HeidiSQL software as usual. So this is my HeidiSQL software. So the first question they are asking is to create a database called HeidiSQL Academy. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. So let's go on to HeidiSQL software, and then you have to right click on this here, and then go to create new, then click on database. So then you will have a pop-up window to enter the name of the database. So as they said, we have to enter the name HeidiSQL Academy. That's the name of the company, that's the name of the academy, and I'll click on OK. So once I click on OK, it renders the database down here. So we will have to search it here. We have this. It's arranged in the alphabetical order, so it's easy for us to refer the database. So here we have HeidiSQL Academy. So inside we don't have any databases. Once you click on this arrow right here, it should pop up the tables which have inside the database, but here it doesn't pop up because we haven't designed any tables yet. So if I want to design a table, so in the next part we have to design a table here. So the table's name is student. We have to create the student table, and in the table we have certain columns. The first column is student registration number, then first name, then goes last name and the gender of the student and the contact number of the student, and all the data types are varchar, so that's easy for us. And then we have to assign the character length of the column. So that means we can assign a specific length for the column, and so that's it for the second part. So I'll just quickly move on to create the table. So once I right click on here, now I have to write the table name. So that's student, as the question says. It says us to create the student table, and I'll just share both screens because it's easy for us. Okay, so I'll just have to share the screens. I'll just share this part of the screen to the question and the next part to the answer. Okay, here we go. So here in this panel I am going to add the columns. So my first column number 1, the name is student registration number, and the data type is varchar. Just have to search varchar here, varchar I have entered here the term varchar, and the length is 10. So I'll just stay with default here. I am going to enter no default because in this column there should definitely be something. The student registration number, it can't be omitted, or if you are inputting it, it's a unique value. So if you want to specifically identify a student, you need that. So I can't just allow null to that column. So I'll choose my next column. Then my next column is according to the question is the first name. First name, and the data type is still varchar, but the length is now 45. Next column is last name. Last name and data type is varchar, and the length is still 45. My next column is gender column, and it has the data type varchar and character length of 10. And my next table is contact number, and the same character length and data type. So I'll just save the table. So once it's finished rendering, I can minimize this part and get the full screen. Then once I go to this table section, I have my table here. So without the data rows, I only have the columns, because I've only completed the columns. So now what we have to do is we have to enter data onto these columns. So I have these are previous projects that I have designed. So in this question I don't need them. So for these columns I am going to enter data. Okay. So you just have to click on this button right here to insert a row. So this is my first row, and my first student registration number. I just have to move on to the question side again. Okay. So it says to enter the data shown in the table. Okay, my student registration number is capital STU 001 underscore 001. Okay. Goes Amal Perera, gender is male, the contact number I see here 070 51211. So my next column is STU underscore 005. And my name is Dani. Oh, it's Dahan, right? Yeah, Dani, I can't spell it. Perera, and female. She's a female. Okay. Contact number 077 150 5522. So next column I have STU underscore 006, and the name is Namal, and surname is Kirana, and he's according to the question it's female. Probably we have to change it in the queries. 077887942. So even though it's obvious that Namal Patirana is a male, according to the question, if they have mentioned him as a female, probably we have to change that value using query. So let's just continue as it is, because the question can't be wrong. It has been like double checked. So I'll add another row, and this is my fourth row, STU 007, student 007. Apsara, it's Apsara. Singha, and he's a male. And 078 222 5566. My next column is STU underscore 010. Then I have like that Madhuni and JC. JC, she's a female. And the contact number is 078. It says, oh here, this one, right? 071801455. Okay. So my next column is STU underscore 011. Then the first name is Amila Disanayaka. He's a male and his phone number is 074150442. So in Sri Lanka we have like 10 digits to our mobile numbers. STU all capital 0012. Okay. The spellings of Amila is wrong. Amila and the first name is Sajitra, and here the last name is Vikramasi. Just extend the length of this column so it fits here, and the gender is female. It's Sajitra Vikramasi. 077 150 okay. So and the next one, how much do we have? Sajitra, then we have 3 more entries. Okay. STU underscore 020. Then the next one Lahiru Karunara. Okay. Karunaratna, and he's a female. It says that he's a female. We don't know. Let's check. 071051 12317. Right. I have added more numbers. Steve 07105123117. I announced STU underscore 035 and color okay. And he's a male. It says that he's a male, and his contact number is 077-820-4546. So those are all our entries here. So these are all our entries and all the data has been saved, and we have our final question. Now we have to move on to queries. Okay. So in the first question, what is they asking? Let's just zoom out a little bit so I can read the whole question. Okay. So it says us to okay, the gender of the student whose registration number is STU006. Okay, that's this one, right? Okay, STU006 is marked as female. Now can you remember our entry Namal Patirana? In this entry, Namal Patirana is obviously a male. From the accent of his name, we can judge that he is a male, but they have incorrectly entered it as female. So according to the question also, we have also incorrectly entered it as female. So now we have to change it as male. So that's our first question. So let's move on to our database. So this is the section where you can enter the queries. So I'll just delete the previous one. Okay. Now what we have to do? Now we already have data here, and we have to update that data. We have to update this female as male. Okay. So as we are doing update, our query starts with update. Now we have to mention our database. Our database is HeidiSQL Academy, right? HeidiSQL Academy dot. If you want like suggestions like this, which pop-ups like this, you just have to press Ctrl plus space. Then we have only one table, this one, and HeidiSQL Academy student, and we must set. We have to use this set keyword, set gender equal male. This is the value we want to set. Where we have to set? Where now we can't enter where first name is Namal. According to the question, we don't know. We just looked at the question. We just read the question and searched who the student is. But according to the question, if you don't have this table given, you have to specify using this registration number. So we have to mention where the registration number is this. So we have to change the gender as male. Where is the condition we are going to apply? Where the registration number is STU006. Okay. Where STU reg number, that's the column, right? Here we must enter the student registration reg number. Student reg number equal STU underscore 006. Okay. So this is the whole query. So you can press this now, this key to, you can press this button to execute the SQL, or you can press F9. So I'll just click on here, and once you go back to the table, it still says female, but if you refresh the page, now it has been updated to male. Okay. So that's our first SQL query question. So let's move on to the next one. So our first one is done. So in the next one we have Naduni Vijay Singh student registration number STU0010 is stored in the database. It should be changed to STU010. It has been registered as STUD. Here it's I think I have entered it correctly. Here. So correct. So what I entered was correct, but it should be entered wrong because I have to update that. So that's on me. So I'll just cancel this query. Okay. Update. So this is also an update query, and our database is HeidiSQL, right? Yeah. MySQL Academy. If you want the suggestions, as I told you, you can press Ctrl plus S, Ctrl plus space, and the table is student. Then what do we have to do? We have to set the student registration number as STU010. Okay. STU010. There. Now here in the question they have given the name of the student, Naduni Vijay Singh. Naduni Vijay Singh student as a student registration number STUD. So as the student registration number is unique, we can straight away use the student registration number, I think. Yeah, where student registration number equal STUD underscore 010. Okay, let's execute this one. Okay, so this was a mistake. So all the students registration number starts with SUD, but except for this one, it starts with STUD. So we have to correct that as STU. We can manually correct it here, but they are asking us to use SQL queries. So here they have the mistake, and once I refresh the page, now I have executed that query, and it has been corrected to STU underscore 010 like all the others. Okay. So that's the end of that question. Let's move on to the next one, our last question. So that's it. So our next question. Okay. Student registration number STU020. First student's first name must be changed to Kalani. Now let's look back at our question. Now here so it says student registration number 020. Yeah, okay. 020. It says the student's first name must be changed to Kalani. Okay. So this is the registration number they have given, 020. Now the first name is Lahiru. Now we must change it to Kalani. Okay. So what you have to do? This is also an update query. Update Sekala Ctrl plus S to give the solutions, and student table. So this dot represents inside. So student table inside Sekala Academy database. Okay. And then we have to press set, and we have to set the first name, right? Yeah, first underscore name, that's our column. Set the column as Kalani, where, so if I execute this one, every cell in the first name column will become Kalani. If I execute this if I execute this query, every first name will be Kalani. So we have to give some specifications. Now instead of doing that error, we must specify which row we have to change or update. So we have to change this row, so we must specify it using the student registration number. There student registration number equal STU underscore 020 according to the question. According to the question, it has specified STU020. STU020. So let's execute this query and see. Okay, I executed it, and here it says Lahiru, but once we refresh the page, it has been updated to Kalani. So all the SQL queries were update queries. So that's the end of that question. That was the last one. So we have done this question. So in the next video I am going to do question number 7. So meet you then. Bye guys.